Cinemas and theme parks will finally reopen this weekend as Metro Manila shifts to alert level 3. Starting today, the country will no longer require fully vaccinated Filipinos from doing facility-based quarantine after arriving from abroad if they test negative in RT-PCR tests 3 days before arriving in the Philippines. Manila Mayor Moreno insists on being a unifying candidate despite his recent tirades against Vice President Robredo. Meanwhile, the Liberal Party clarifies it still has all-out support for Robredo's presidential bid, despite the VP changing her color from yellow to pink. And TNT is just one win away from booking a finals ticket at this year's PBA Philippine Cup. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. Kicking off today's newscast with the Interagency Task Force, placing Metro Manila under Alert Level 3 beginning this weekend. Til De Vera reports.
More people are flocking to malls as the Christmas season approaches. At this mall in Mandaluyong City, shoppers have different views about going out during the pandemic.
Yes, we feel safe now that there are more people in the mall.
Under this situation, at least the alert level where they can accommodate people in the restaurants. At least hindi naman suppress yung business.
The mall management has assured the government that they are ready for a more relaxed alert level 3 status.
We are very prepared to get out to accept more customers. In terms of safety protocol, we have our safety managers going around the mall all the time.
Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion has been pushing for Metro Manila to be placed under Alert Level 2. Concepcion explains that many businesses are already having a hard time staying afloat.
We can very well see that there is a downward trend. Now, we have to take some risks. We don't want to wipe out most of the fourth quarter, and many of these business establishments need to pay the 13-month pay. They have many obligations.
Most businesses agree with this. Resto PH President Eric Teng said that even big companies are already bearing the brunt of strict quarantine restrictions.
We must start going down that alert level to 3 and hopefully 2. We must trust the vaccinated. We must let them out. Let's give them more freedom to revive our economy again.
The Private Hospital Association of the Philippines has opposed a further easing of restrictions. PHAP President Dr. Jose Rene de Granos said it is too early to jump to level 2 since many hospitals are still full.
Pwedeng mag-cause yan again ng surge, ng increase again ng ating mga active cases.
De Grano believes that Filipinos can still look forward to a better holiday this year as Alert Level 2 may be imposed by December. For News 5, Dale De Vera, we are One News.
NTF COVID-19 Special Advisor Ted Herbosa says Metro Manila may be eased further to Alert Level 2 after 2 weeks. That's if the cases in the region go down further. In an interview with The Big Story, Herbosa said that the improving COVID situation in the NCR has prompted the downgrade to Alert Level 3. Herbosa added that hospital utilization plays a huge factor in whether or not Metro Manila will stay under this lower alert system for the rest of the month.
The usual period is 2 weeks, right? So after October 31 or before October 31, we will get to see how the release of restrictions will affect the number of cases. If the number of cases increase and we end up with more COVID cases in the hospital, I think we will stay in level 3 or even lift to a higher. But if they continue to decline, the cases go down and less, and there will be more hospital beds open, I think we can proceed to Alert Level 2.
On the other hand, some health workers are apprehensive of the alert level downgrade in Metro Manila. Speaking to the Chiefs, PCP President Maricar Limpin explained that while the situation is not as bad as before, many hospitals are still operating near full capacity.
We're a little bit apprehensive doon sa gagawin na pag-downgrade ng alert level because it means na mas maraming tao ang lalabas. Therefore, mas malaki ang chance na mas marami na naman ang mag-positive. I think ang nakakalimutan ho ng ating business sector na ang mga na tao dito sa National Capital Region ay hindi lamang residents ng Metro Manila, no? So many of those coming from nearby provinces, no, are nagtatrabaho sila dito sa NCR. So marami sa kanila maaaring hindi pa bakunado.
The IATF has also revised rules for arriving passengers from Green Lane country, states, and jurisdictions. Starting today, fully vaccinated foreigners will only be required to present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 72 hours prior to the departure from the country of origin. They will no longer be required to undergo facility-based quarantine, but will be expected to self-monitor for COVID-19 symptoms for at least 14 days. Fully vaccinated Filipinos arriving from Green Lane countries are also afforded the same rule. However, returning Filipinos have the option of getting tested for COVID-19 upon arrival and undergo a facility-based quarantine while waiting for the results. On the other hand, unvaccinated and partially vaccinated individuals and those with unverified vaccination status must undergo facility-based quarantine until they receive their negative RT-PCR test taken on the 5th day. This will also apply to those who failed to comply with the test before travel requirements. Parts of the country are still reeling from the devastating impact of severe tropical storm Moreno. 13 have reportedly died, while 3 were injured in the aftermath of the tropical cyclone. That's the latest count from the NDRRMC as of yesterday, October 13. Meanwhile, 9 have been reported missing, 8 of whom are still for validation. In terms of damage, Moreno ravaged over 100 houses, and it also damaged more than 22,000 hectares of crops while killing over 7,000 livestock and poultry. The total estimated cost of damage to agriculture now stands at almost 494 million pesos. Manila Mayor and presidential aspirant Isko Moreno claims that his goal is still to be the unifying candidate for next year's polls. But what exactly does this mean? Jen Calimon tells us in this report.
I can work with anybody. If we can unify people, why not?
Manila Mayor Isko Moreno has insisted on being a unifying candidate. But his recent comment on Leni Robredo running to stop another Marcos president has been met with mixed reactions. His remark was construed as reducing the issue to a mere fight between the Aquinos and the Marcoses. But Mayor Isko clarifies that he does not mean forgetting the past.
We don't forget what happened in the past. We will always remember their mistakes and successes. With their success, we will duplicate and innovate. With the inferior, papanagutin natin sila sa mata ng batas.
He also defended his reaction towards the vice president, saying that as a leader, Robredo should have her own stance.
When you try to take the leadership, you must be decisive. You must have a goal and may decision ka sa buhay. May sarili kang disposition. How can you decide on things that, nakakailanganin? Kung padili-dali ka pa, hindi mo malaman. You have to take that kind of risk.
In 1PH, wag po, Moreno's campaign manager Lito Banayo attributes the Manila Mayor's rush of words to a sense of betrayal from the Robredo camp.
Feeling ni Isko was it was may sense of betrayal no? Kasi all the time, we were made to believe that the Vice President was being an honest broker towards unification.
Nevertheless, Banayo said that Isko will never be a copycat of President Duterte. He says Isko would prove to be more gentler in his tone.
In the next few days, you will notice, you will see na si Isko, no matter the sabihin natin ang galing sa hirap, is very much a gentleman.
Meanwhile, Isko's Chief of Staff Cesar Chavez has resigned from his post. There are speculations that Chavez resigned due to his conflict and differences with Moreno's campaign team. But this was denied by the Acción Democrático, citing a new job and health reasons for Chavez's departure. Reporting for News 5, Jen Calimon, we are One News.
The Liberal Party will be giving its all-out support for Vice President Leni Robredo's presidential bid. In an interview with the Chiefs, an LP official admitted that Robredo's decision to run as an independent candidate is an election tactic. LP Vice President for Internal Affairs Teddy Bagilat said this was done to unite various groups who are supportive of Robredo, but not necessarily of the Liberal Party. Despite this, Bagilat said that the Robredo-Pangilinan tandem and their slate will be fully supported by the party.
Yeah, it's the Leni Kiko slate, no, na andun si Akbayan with Riz Contiveros, and then andyan si Senator Stanley Trillanes of Magdalo, and then si Chel Joknor has this new party, yung KNP, and then si Laila at ako. Baka madagdagan yan, bringing in other organized political agrupations into the slate.
Meralco stays alive while TNT moves closer to the PBA Finals after game number 5 of their semi-series. Allen Maliksi caught fire in the all-important Game 5 against Magnolia. He shot 7 of 8 from Rainbow Country and dropped a conference-high 29 points to live another day. The series is now at 2-3, with Magnolia still 1 win away from the finals. Likewise, the Tropang Giga inched closer to booking their finals ticket after a decisive 110-90 win over the San Miguel Beermen. At 3-2, TNT will try to finish off San Miguel in Game 6 tomorrow afternoon. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.